Good morning, traders. Will this be the day that the market finally turns? There's only one way to find out. Stay right here for live trading with Benzinga and find out what I will be looking at. Maybe on the short side, Ryan might have a play on the long side for you. The only question is, what are you looking at in the chat? Let us know what's your top pick of the day, and we'll definitely cover it right here on live trading. Let's get it started.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, traders, let's get to the action. It's time to go ahead and talk about the trading action. Of course, let's bring on my man, Ryan Faloona, in the house. We'll get into the stocks. We'll take a look at what's going on out there. I will let you guys know I did close some trades this morning. I just felt a little bit uncomfortable in them as the market, to me, like personally, like especially seeing that kind of action on AMAT overnight where AMAT just took a pounding. I thought that we would come in and the Qs be down big. So I was saying it yesterday on live on Start Swing Trade that I was like, for these SQQQ and Apple positions, right? I need to see some kind of action looking good tomorrow. Because if not, then we could just get squeezed back, right? So this morning, you guys see it. I closed them in the green. And the big thing is, I felt like this could come right back to me. And it was coming back to me, especially like in Apple here and the SQQQ right here. It's literally when I sold it, 824, guys, right at this level when we started coming back through the 190s. And then now look at it. We're back down to 189. That's how it goes sometimes, team. And now we're starting to really leak. So today I'm going to be looking for what? I'm going to be looking for bull traps, big pops out the open to get short. Now, the big thing here is using resistance levels like I used on Apple yesterday. That gap, that was very well played. The thing is, being patient is what's working for me and not letting trades essentially get big red, right? That's what's been working for me. I'm going to continue doing that. If I need to get in and out, I will get in and out, but still thinking in swing trading mentality, swing trading size. And that's another reason. SQQQ at 70 shares even starts getting a little bit awkward. To me, I want to be more closer towards like 50 shares. I added to 70 because things were looking great yesterday for the breakdown, but we never got it. There's a ticking time bomb that I talk about all the time, and every trader should have a ticking time bomb sometimes, right? We need to be looking at positions, thinking that they can go, but if they're just not moving and not doing anything and close to our risk spot and getting us into the red, is there really a reason to be in this? No, I can always get in and out. And I think that that's what sometimes traders forget. They stay in a position just because they got in it and they're looking for the green, and then they let it go red. And then they're just like, oh, well, it just didn't work out. Well, the truth is sometimes you got to be able to hold the money back like I've done now. We were at 1.6 positions in, now only 2 positions. And I'm going to focus on opening more, but like always, at a good risk to return. We'll find out what happens today. And just to mention, I still have XLE and American Airlines. This XLE has been an amazing trade that I'm going to stick on to, guys. And the only way I get out of this is if the XLE starts coming back for a ripping rally back above this 86. So for right now, I'm just going to hang on tight with this one. This one could be a nice swing towards Monday. We'll find out right here on live trading. Let's go to my man, Ryan. How we doing today, Ryan?
We're doing good. Doing much better than yesterday. I do have something here to cover really quickly on the trade, the pool. So let me go ahead and bring this up. I have to go full screen. So a couple of things. So yesterday, arguably one of the worst entries of a swing I've had in a long time, literally bought Bristol Myers right here. But because I knew that this was going to be a swing, and because I felt really good about Bristol Myers, and because Bristol Myers isn't some crappy penny stock that's likely to go to zero as it came back in, I actually added 50 shares to my position to lower my cost basis. We started to trade back up. We're up here in the pre-market. Things are looking good. Now, the one thing I did want to point out, Mitch, we're not in the competition anymore. So you'll notice that each one of my positions, here's my mouse. Each one of my positions has 149 and 29. I guess what happened is that because we have certain margin requirements for overnight, it automatically sold one share of each of my positions.
So you only have $8,000 of overnight equity to kind of play these. So it's going to sell some of it if you are above that.
But here's the thing. It sold one share from each position. That is effectively MBD, right? That is not a big deal at all. Does not affect the trade
that doesn't do anything.
So the takeaway here is that first of all, I was frustrated for a number of reasons yesterday. I'm really sorry I was not able to spend time with this community here. That really sucked. That was the worst part of it. But the other part of it here is that, I mean, I literally bought this right at the top. Like, it did nothing but sell off. Now, the takeaway here is that patience really prevailed, because that's what I really needed to do. And it would be great today if Bristol Myers could get some type of movement here, and we can actually make a successful swing trade out of this, even if it's only a day or two. So what's off being poor yesterday, better today. You know what, Mitch? New day, new way. It's a Friday. We're going to find some stuff, and we're going to have some fun.
And I love how you guys see Ryan and I adjusting a little bit, right? We were struggling a little bit there in the day trading game, and that's going to happen. You're going to see ups and downs, and that's why I always talk about when you're going through rough times, go back to what you know you do good at, right? Because if not, you're just fighting insanity, right? And I think that's what I started switching back to, going to what I know I can do, which is swing trade. And I don't get any even fear in saying that. And that's how I know I'm good at it too. Because if you say it like, hey, I'm going to day trade today, and you feel like a little bit of emotions, like, man, I could lose a lot of money there. That should tell you something, right? So like the way that I think about it in swing trading, and I got asked this in pre-market prep, what do you think are the strengths? What do you think are the weaknesses? The only weakness that I really see in swing trading sometimes is that you got to be on the sidelines sometimes when things are uneasy and you don't know the direction. If you don't have an edge, don't trade like you do have an edge. That's the one thing I would tell you guys about swing trading. And that's the only negative I see for me. The positives, I get to hold positions for longer. I get to position trade, right? Like build the position, which helps me over time, manage my risk. I get to expand winners. I get to cut losers smaller. This all are positives, right? Those are pros. And I'm going to continue trying to work those pros and just swing trade for some time on this account, right? So keep taking trades, take even more trades, but instead of putting all my eggs in one basket, showing you guys the way that I can come at it in the day trading game and struggle, why not go and just do what I do best, right? There's a reason why I have Start Swing Trade, a show, is because I truly believe that that's where my bread and butter lies, and that's where the results tell me that they lie in. So I'm going to continue showing that process. I hope that you guys can learn from this and maybe try adjusting. Maybe you guys think about switching from day trading to a little bit more swing action. And I hope that you guys can learn from it right here, of course, on Live Trading with Benzinga. Let's get to the action. I did see a question that was interesting in the chat about the squawk. Did you see that question, Ryan?
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and take that right here. Ryan and Mitch, before we begin, is there any way to get Benzinga Pro equity squawk in text? I can't hear it while listening to you guys. Okay, so we're going to go. I'm going to spend just 2 minutes here, Mitch. I know we've got 6 minutes till the market opens. Please let me cover this real quick.
No, I love this question.
Couple of things here. So first of all, what you're asking for is squawk transcription. And that is actually something that the development team currently has a prototype on. They're working. The thing with squawk transcription is that you really need to make sure you execute this correctly, because the last thing that we want to do is provide stuff that's inaccurate. If the transcription mishears something, misprints something, right? There has to be more. It's taking a while. I'm sorry about that, but it is currently in development. That much I can tell you. Now, what I can tell you as something actionable today, okay? Today, one of the things that I would encourage you to do is to actually go into the Benzinga Pro chat rooms. One of the things that you're going to notice is that Charlie, who is the squawker on the equity squawk that you're asking about, will often post in the day trading chat room. He is an admin, so his messages are automatically highlighted in green for everybody. This is not going to serve serve as a full transcription, but this should list some of the things that he is squawking about, and this might help you as a stopgap until we can deploy a full-blown squawk transcription. So this is a great question, Johnny. Unfortunately, we do not have this feature for you. Definitely check out the day trading room. Shout out to some of the traders in there, like And Now. He's great. So get in there, get involved. Let me know if that helps at all in the future. We are trying to meet your needs.
And I would definitely say that, for the time being, there are some services that you can maybe pay for, but that's up to you guys if you guys want to pay for it to try to maybe get captioning from that audio. But it'd be, you would have to put out more money, right? And that's up to you guys if you guys want to do it. We're trying to figure out a way for you guys not to be charged for this, right? An added feature that could be awesome for Pro. I honestly, Ryan, once that gets done, let me know even about it, because I struggle with the same situation.
Well,
I like the squawk, but I just don't like it in my ear.
Here's the other thing. Okay, so you'll notice that I have headphones on. I will often listen to the squawk while we're on here. Sometimes I will even toggle the mute. There was a point where I was playing it on my phone with an earbud so that I could actually have my headphones hearing the noise from my computer. But here's another tip for you real quick. One of the things that you're going to notice is that all of the squawk channels have an independent volume slider. So what I would suggest that you do, and this is me going back to my streaming days on Twitch, I would go ahead and mux your audio in such a way where you can hear both. Meaning if you need to turn the overall volume down, so Mitch and I go down a little bit in volume, and then jack that equity squawk all the way up to 100 or whatever level is convenient for you, and you should be able to kind of hear both. I totally understand. I totally understand if you're listening to multiple audio streams at the same time. When there's content on both streams simultaneously, it's very difficult to pick everything up. My first tip for you, try and adjust it with using the volume slider. See if that works for you. That would be the first thing that I'd start with. Okay, Mitch dipped. So right before we open up here, we've got just under 2 minutes. I do want to roll through a couple of things. First of all, SPY here, we're flirting with a breakout or a breakdown. If we break out here, I absolutely think 460 is within reach. If we break down, look out for a potential gap fill down to 441. Now, if we take a look at the movers tool here, there are a couple of things that are moving here today. Number one, GPS, ticker GPS. Golf Papa Sierra. This is Gap Clothing Stores. This is trading higher on earnings, potential gap and go. Also watch for a sell-off as profit takers take profit, catch, and then a bounce towards the highs. Potential play there on GPS. All right. Now, there was another one in here, SGD. I didn't see any news for this one. This one worries me a little bit, but obviously we have a massive move here. This was a penny stock yesterday. It ran up on like a ton of halts up to $6. Now here we are chilling in the 750 handle. This seems extremely risky today. I'm likely going to stay away from this, but figured we need to mention. I don't see any news driving this, at least not the most recent move here. A couple more here. Looks like CAUD. This was making some rounds on Twitter. I saw someone mentioning this on Twitter earlier. I don't really see anything in here other than the Form 4. Now, this is the CEO buying 190,000 shares above market price. So take that with a grain of salt. Maybe this is something that you kind of want to get on the back of. We talked about this recently, looking at this chart here. Kind of yikes, right? Not the greatest looking chart here, but we'll see if this ends up taking off. Remember that CEO by 204 on CAUD. All right, so that's pretty much all I have. Oh yeah, you guys you were mentioning Man U there. We could talk about Man U real quick. Man U, there's a potential sale of a portion of the stake. So it's Jim Ratcliffe from ENO Sports in talks to buy 25% stake for 33 a share. Obviously, that's popping Man U here today. Okay, that was ding, ding, ding. The market is open. Let's see what the day brings for us. Just kind of watching right now. Here's some truck outside. Looking around, folks. Apple moving up to the highs here. Tesla moving to the lows. Market looks like it's trying to trade up a little bit here. I know the SPY dipped, but it looks like it's trying to bounce. We'll see if we end up going higher here. What do you folks have on your radar? I see Man U being mentioned. We talked about that. Let me know what you folks have on your radar. SGD, this is one of the stocks from the list. Looks like the first thing here was a pop. Excuse me, the first move here was a pop right into that 840 area and rejected. Looks like the SQQQ curling up here. I am still long some SQQQ in my main account. Very small, have been red on it pretty much since I bought it. But I think eventually that's going to work here. And I'll be good holding that over the weekend. Zenith wondering about ANF as a sympathy to GPS. I like the thought there, right? Abercrombie and Fitch, definitely retail clothing company. It is moving. You know, with that being Gap's earnings, I guess the sympathy play here is that you think that the positive outlook is going to shift over to Abercrombie. I don't have a line on that. Abercrombie's actually been a really good stock. Look at this. Look at this move from May of this year. Stock was $22. Here we are sitting at 71. So Abercrombie just been really, really strong. I'm not looking to really buy this, especially after that move. Look at how high the RSI is on this thing. Just ANF. Wow, what a great swing that would have been this year.
Let's get after it.
Oh, he's back. PAG's popping to the highs here. SQQQ continuing to move up. I got you, Mitch. There we go. Nope.
Who's going to do it faster? Let's get after it, team. Let's see what we can come up with today, right? So, right reaction out the gates is straight down. It could be that they won't even give us a chance to catch this. So I'm already kind of like, I should have kept the SQQQ a little bit more, but I'm looking for a little dip right back to where I got in. So any kind of dip, I can maybe try to get in on this action. But seeing the action come down in the SPY right out the gates, the Qs also, I'm going to look for one more drive because that's what I always like to short into. I like to short into strength, not necessarily short into weakness. So right now, if I short right now, that'd be shorting into weakness. Literally doing what I don't like to do. So let's see if we can get some pops here to maybe start seeing that turn. One stock that I'm looking to get after today, I talked about it on pre-market prep, is Disney. I do want to get short some Disney. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to start some now in a second here. Would like to get to 95, but it got close to there and it turned right back around. 95 was the high. Let's see if we can get above 95 here on a little pop there and eventually start to get short this area. Got to zoom out. Take this rectangle off here. All right, we're getting right to that high here. The high is 95.11s. Now I'm going to start getting short some guys. All right, just took a little bit there. Only 10 shares to start. That's a very small position there. Trying to work it up on Disney.
SGD is halted. And that's halted down, by the way, SGD. Murrah also halted. Good shout, Bex. That's halted to the upside, Murrah. Nice little bounce there. What happened here? Murrah Oncology.
All right, guys. Next step will be into like 95.50s, and then eventually I'll risk up there towards 96.39. But just already got a nice little entry. I do want to add to this in a second. I did get a nice little pullback already back down towards the 95s. Qs are still weak here. All right, so this is kind of like the bull trap attempt here. I'm going to already add one more time. I'm slowly adding to this. I want to get to eventually maybe 50 shares here of Disney. I'm at 20 shares deep now. Going to continue to watch this. Now, American is where like I'm getting a little bit weary on this one because if the market just comes down, this could come right back to my entry. My stop loss is still in the green at 1190s, so I'm just going to let that work. If it comes back and stops me out, it'll still be like just a $6 gain here. The reason why you guys see a -8 there is because it's from the original position. And I like how it tells me this too. Like I've lost some on the name, right? If I can get that into the green, then it would be like a break-even trade. It was in the green multiple times, but the key here is that I had a big day trading position and I lowered the sizing down to a swing. All right, let's go to the SQQQ here, see how that's doing. Would like to see that come to like a 4-hour bottom.
OPTX.
It did do that already. That's around the 618. If you need to take the charts, like always, Ryan, you can always put them up.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of shouting something. I'll let you know if I'll take the chart if I have to. If I have like a trade or something. SQQQ looking really good. OPTX trading up towards the VWAP. We'll see if that builds and goes. Smoke Tuna, you're correct. That is getting volume. Yes, I was going to say, Jay, let's hear the victory lap on ChargePoint. You have been warning about both Blink and ChargePoint for what feels like a long time. ChargePoint getting absolutely destroyed here today.
I mean, to a point. You can give him some love for that, Ryan. I'll give him half credit for it.
You do what you got to do. ChargePoint bouncing, by the way.
Yeah, I'm starting to short on Disney. Apple looked great for the same kind of play, right? Pop and short into. I did not get that one though today. I had 190 30s. I had that opportunity to grab it right back out the gates. Slapped on that one. That I would say I struggled. I should have executed there. See if it comes back to that level, but I think it's going to maybe be a fade all day now. Nvidia is maybe one that I could come after here. That did also the same kind of move, a pop towards 496, coming down fast there. Microsoft in the red. We'll see what other ones are in the red today. Will Meta go red? It's having a little bit of a pop here. This is one that I could think about maybe getting after too. Yeah, going after Disney might have ruined the Apple trade there. Should have had it already on there. That's a little frustrating that I didn't get that entry. Let's go look in the QQQs. They're just pushing, man. Yep. I might have sold them a little bit too early today in the pre-market. And part of this is also, like you guys know, I do pre-market prep, right? Pre-market prep is just tough. It's just tough to like trade while I'm hosting, producing, right? So a lot of times I'll look at the risk before I get into the show and I have to make a call, right? Do I want to be in this position while I'm live and could see this just drop into the red? I did not want to do that. Big thing is, Jay, that you were kind of like half right there. That's why I half credit. Blink went up yesterday. It was still looking great. It is coming down with ChargePoint's earnings today. So ChargePoint, you've been right. But Blink hasn't been a bad position in the last 3 or 4 days. So that's where I would say that, I mean, you've gotten it right. You're 100%. But to like go after Blink here also, I mean, it hasn't been a bad trade, I would say. Look at the daily chart. That was a nice win if you were able to ride that Blink. Now, long term, you're dead right on these two. XLE up, that's fine. I'm still doing great in that one. As long as it doesn't get back to 86.
You were long that, right?
Short, man.
Oh, you're shorted. Oh, hell that's yeah. Right. And you're still green on
yesterday. Oh, I cashed in yesterday big. That got all the way down to 83s, right to the daily support. And it was it was shorting into strength, shorting on a green day. That's when I feel like I do it right. Not shorting on a weakness kind of day. All right, let's see what other ones I can come up with. I am not getting other trades there, so I'm just going to come more after Disney now. It's starting to come back below the 95s. Another ad here, guys. Boom, just added a little bit more. Now I got 30. I want this to pop one more time, maybe into like the 930s, 940s. But after that, I shouldn't see higher than that, and it should start coming down here. We'll see what happens. Talked about this trade way ahead of the time. Let's see if I get after the House of Mouse. It's going to become the House of Mouses. Mickey doing betting? I don't know. What do you guys think about Mickey doing betting action? All right, looking around to see some of the smaller names today. Gaps just ripping here, guys. This is interesting. Retail trade. Of course, I got out of the retail trade. Let's see if it comes back today. It is starting to push there on the XRT. I'm looking for more pullbacks to the 60s, 70s, but it's something to keep in mind. Walmart, Costco still coming down. Walmart's been struggling. BJ's earnings report wasn't the best. It is starting to come back now. We'll see if it actually gets to move today or if it's just a little bit of a trap. What are you guys seeing out there, team? Are you guys seeing anything that catching your attention? I'll tell you one thing. The Qs are weak, man. The Qs are weak. A little bit annoyed about the SQQQ selling that off. That should have been something that I kept, but hey, that happens, guys. That's a definitely mistake there on the SQQQs. And it's hindsight 2020 now. I'll just leave it alone. I definitely need a big pullback on that one to come after it. But trying to get shorts like Apple, because man, that would have been a nice one to get. That's what I call like a bull trap, right? Something like this. This is the exact action of a bull trap. Just give me a pop right out the gates to resistance, and then we can short off of that. That's exactly what happened there. Pop into resistance, and then it got shorted into. At least that's what I feel. We are seeing the Waffle House, not the mouse. Waffle House. I haven't been to a Waffle House in a while. I'll talk about a little story that I got really disappointed. I used to like Steak and Shake back in college. I thought it was one of the best places that you could go to late at night and have at least a good time with the waitresses. They're usually a little bit more fun to deal with. But now you go into a Steak and Shake and they don't even have waitresses. They just have like a self-service iPad like looking thing in the front that you just click and you seat yourself down and that's it. Like that. What happened to customer service, guys? Customer service is actually appreciated some places, man. I don't know. I think we're getting into this age where we use technology to replace customer service and realize there is no customer service after that.
I consider myself old-fashioned because customer service is one of the core tenets of why I support a particular business. So when I work for a business, I then try to have that customer service towards our customers. And I think that there are some people, even in this chat, that would be able to understand where I'm coming from on that.
All right, guys, I'm going to go after a socks ass because that is lacking here and hasn't really taken off. It did kind of get a little bit of a pop in the morning, came down here towards 853s multiple times, now starting to get above the VWAP here. So let's start a little bit of a position here and then try to work it if it goes below the 850s. Dang, already 861s. Let me see if I can get 858 on pullbacks, 860s. Got to be quick on this one. See if I can get that little pullback right quick. Start getting into this more. I'm seeing Apple down. I'm seeing Microsoft down. I'm seeing Nvidia down. The only one in the green that I can come after is Meta. Let's do that instead of the stocks S. I like that one. What do we got? About what? 20-cent risk right now? No, we're looking at more like $1 risk right now towards the top of that. All right, let's see if we can get a little press here towards like 332.40s, and then I can short off like 333s. Order out 332.40s. Sound like an away announcer there. It's kind of like when I was in the Charlotte Hornets arena and going, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler. What's going on out there, team? What are you guys liking out there? It will come back. I enjoyed customer service as Jim Z. I agree, man. I hope it comes back. Your flight attendants get customer service? Man, I don't, what flight, what airline? Because, man, the flight attendants that I usually deal with, I'm like, man, not the same way it used to be treated. All right, entries there on starter on for Meta at 10 shares. Looking to add on that one. Are the Qs getting a little bit of a bounce here? A little bit. Not a major one, but we are getting a little bounce there. Disney, I'm looking to add one more time here. All right, just got one more ad there for Disney. Going to continue to grind this. This got up there to 95.40s, kind of the area that I wanted to get short off of, but I didn't catch that big move. I'm going to look for it to come down now. We'll see if the Qs can stay weak here, and we really start to see this kind of get hit.
GPS to the highs here. SGD unhalted and trying to go to, oh, actually, this might be rolling over. See, SGD is just too volatile for me.
All right, guys, risk is about $20 right now, 95.61 for Disney, and looking for this to kind of really change tunes here. Meta, we'll see if we get our next fill. I need to go pay attention to that one. Anything back above 95.30s, I'm going to pay attention to Disney, but right now, let's go to Meta. Meta! All right, didn't get that ad fill, or did I? Yeah, I did. 32.80s, let's go.
Sido, by the way, for all you penny players, I don't know if you guys are playing this, but this thing's absolutely crazy.
Just added there on Meta.
I don't believe this. I'm not going to trade this. I'm out of this. Just calling it because I know that there are penny players here.
All right, guys, establishing risk here on Meta. $31 in risk here towards 33.50s gives me what? Like about $1 risk here in the dollar range to give it a little bit of room to see if it pops a little bit above this 332.80s, but definitely don't want it to, like, let's say clear and close above 33s, but still giving myself room from there. Because the way that Meta is that a lot of times the spread itself can get stopped out. We'll see if this starts to come down here and takes a hit towards 330s. That's what I really want to see for the first profits. And then I will take some off and continue to work the rest. So now playing Disney, and now look at that move on Disney. That makes me feel a little bit more confident here as we're like, what, 15 minutes in? I like that. So now back towards entry, back towards 95.10s. I will add my last ad there for Disney. So you guys see it right there, 95.10s. I'm going to put it in the middle there just to give myself a little bit of room so that I would improve price, but not by much. 95.15s out there for an added. I have 40 shares. I'm good with Disney. Don't even need to look at it anymore. Let it do its thing. We'll find out if it starts getting hit. Now, Meta is one that I'm going to really focus on because I want to see this start to break, get back down below the 332s, and really start to get hit. Got to pay attention to the Qs. Rejecting the 385 move. It could get up there towards VWAP. Just don't want to see opening price get hit. Opening price on the Qs was, we got 385.49. So 389.50s or 385.50s. I'm just going to round it up to that. Back above that, I got to be careful for downside action turning into upside action. But other than that, I'll keep playing it. So I'll show you guys that right now. That's exactly what I wanted to see there on Meta, what is happening right there. So now I'm looking at the Qs and I'm putting a line here at this 385.50s and being like, just don't come back through that level. As long as it doesn't come back, I'll be watching that.
Jay's favorite stock, Mullen, showing some pretty strong momentum to the upside here. Jay, would love to know what your thought processes would be for trading Mullen. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I tried to keep a straight face and I failed. I couldn't help myself.
Jimmy buckets. I should go put on my Jimmy jersey.
Can never go wrong with the Jimmy Butler jersey. You want to talk about a dude that has overcome a lot to be one of the top players in basketball? Man, I wish the Bulls never traded him, Mitch. That is a sore subject.
Yeah, you got Levine for it,
but neither here nor there. Levine might get traded too.
I hope the Heat don't grab him. I'll tell you that right now. I think he's butt.
I bet.
I think he's butt and on the back end of his career, but
yeah.
You don't pay anybody $40 million on the back end of their careers, man. This is in LeBron James.
Wouldn't even pay him on the back of his career either.
Even then, right?
Even then.
I mean, 40 million.
Smoke Tuna called this earlier. We had trouble going over the VWAP the first time. Let's see if we get over the VWAP this time on OPTX. It's actually spread pretty good here.
Jake, I like it, Jake.
Yeah, I timed him out for that garbage opinion.
You timed out Smoke Tuna.
Oh, shoot. How do I untime out Smoke Tuna?
You can't. Live trading, baby. Sorry, Tuna.
Oh, man. Now I owe Tuna one. You can't, there's no way to untime someone out.
No, man. That's why you don't put them in the corner unless you need to.
Dude, now I feel bad. Now I actually feel bad. You got Jake coming in here with this crappy ass opinion, and then I time out the wrong person. Smoke Tuna. Damn, I'm sorry.
We'll see if Meta stops me out. That's definitely getting a push.
I'm so sorry, Tuna.
Back to the VWAP. I'm going to give this a little bit more here towards 333.80s. That's going to be about a $40 risk. I'm okay with that. The big thing is the Qs are spiking here. Now, do they get through the opening price? So important. There's the alert there. Apple greater than 190. That's one alert that I wanted to definitely catch. Here's 190s coming back. Is this an attempt to get the Apple trade here? But right back for me. I'm going to try to go after it, team.
I'm completely shook and distracted now. Good joke here from N. Lacey, though. He smoked Tuna. Perfect use of the comment.
All right, there you guys have it. I just went short a little bit of Apple here, and this is a hard one, guys, because the Qs are spiking. Not normal to think about like shorting that right there, but I'm going to take my shot, and I'm going to set my risk. My risk right above 190.50s. So let's do 190.55s. Actually, I'll do it all the way up to 190.60. That's only $6 risk there. Looking for this to come right back down, and that's exactly what's going on right now.
That's also what's going on for SQQQ, Mitch.
I like that attempt that I went for it. And what I did was I went half size. Last time I had 20 shares of Apple. I only went 10 shares of Apple. I had 30 last time.
Real quick, Antonio, Smoke Tuna will be freed. Don't worry. Tiffany, appreciate you speaking up. I'm quiet on here, but I love tuna. So do I, which is why I feel absolutely terrible for what I just did, Tiffany. So don't worry. He'll be back. Apologize a million times to Tuna, not to Jake, but to Tuna.
Someone started GoFundMe for Smoke Tuna. Oh man, free Smoke Tuna, baby. We gotta get the shirt. Just put like
I'll wear one. I'll wear one. We'll bring awareness to the cause if I have to. I can't believe I did that.
Put a jail hat on a salmon.
Even your bird is burning you on that one. That's true. The bird loves Smoked Tuna too.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Lynn, I appreciate that. Don't worry, Ryan and Tuna. I time out Randy all the time. All right. Well, that's not so bad then.
All right, guys. I got Disney in the green. I got Apple in the green. Meta's still in the red. I got to manage that one, guys. That's the one I got to manage now, guys. I got to manage a little bit of that Meta. Meta, what are you going to do to me? Q's coming back down. I like how it like kind of spiked into this, and then like this is going to be important. Get back above that high.
What I would love here, honestly,
look at that rejection of 385. Look at the wicks right on that. That's what I'm going to be watching for. What you got, Ryan?
I was going to say, just because I'm long SQQQ, what I'd love is for this to get rejected.
I like that. I like that. Is that pro or?
No, I'm sorry. Here, I have my
just show the SQQQs since I'm not.
I have my position in a different window.
No, you're good, man. Just so you can at least show them the SQQQs because I'm avoiding it since I got out of it. I don't want to like just be going back and forth. So what are you seeing on that SQQQ?
What I'm seeing here, I'm watching the SPY, and I'm also watching the Qs. And what I'd like to see is on this bounce for the Qs, I guess you could say for the SPY too, but on this bounce here for the Qs, I'd love to see it get rejected and roll back over to retest and then set a new low. That would be good for my SQQQ position. That's basically what I was trying to say.
I want to free Jake. I'm cool with you, Jake, saying it. Jimmy Butler.
Hey, look, I was just telling you how. I mean, look, at some point you can't. You have to ban clown comments. You have to stop clown comments. And saying that Jimmy Butler is a better NBA player than Michael Jordan is the definition of a clown comment. That is an unserious, very lazy, uneducated opinion. So it is what it is.
What are you talking about, bro? Jimmy's better, bro. Come on.
All right.
I'm gonna get the rug pulled here.
Well, no, I thought you actually knew sports, but I'm learning a lot this morning.
All right, guys. What are you guys taking a look at it in the markets, guys? What are you guys catching out there? KSS up 4.2%, Macy's 5, AEO 4.8. All retailers moving. UKS, maybe I sold that XRT too early. One of the things that I like to do is take swings, take some money, and then maybe play with that money that I made. Maybe use half of the sizing this time and keep trying to play it on pullbacks. So that's something that I'll be thinking about, EKS. I know that you've been keeping up with the retail trade, as you can clearly see. Qs came right back down. Come on, come on, come on.
Looking like Twist is trying to trade up here.
Focusing on Apple right here. And Meta, I'm just going to let it continue doing its thing. We'll see if it actually does come down. Disney's still in the green, so I'm just leaving that alone. I still have that order to add on Disney. I'm actually going to raise it up a little bit here. It's just in case we get another Q's attempt to the upside. And then I'd get that last add and then just continue to watch to see if we get that downside to come in. I'm trying to play the turn. And like always, when you're playing the turn, I want to be quick, nimble, and be able to get out. And also be able to get back in. So what does that mean? I can't lose too much on one position because that won't give me the ability to come back. Qs, I want to see it just reject here and head down towards 384.50s. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Anything back above that 385.50s, I got to be very careful.
OPTX, man, this thing is just way too spread.
Let's go to a 15-minute chart here so you can see how it kind of came up on the 15-minute and now is starting to decline. And the big level for me is that blue line that you guys see right there on the screen. Thoughts on AMAT filling the gap up? Austin, I don't like to play those types of, what do you call them? The idiot drops, Ryan?
Well, the idiot drops is when a good stock sells off when it shouldn't.
That's what I think they're thinking about on AMAT. The earnings weren't bad. There's an investigation on them that was affecting it, Ryan. So that's the hard part, right? If you look at the fundamentals, the guidance is even good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about the investigation, so I can't really say. Smoke Tuna tweeted me. Can he not talk? It's supposed to be a 5-minute timeout.
Did you complete ban him? Did it completely ban him?
No, I didn't. There has to be a way to fix this. That's bullshit, Mitch. There has to be a way to fix this.
If he's banned, I can get him back.
Then go check. Go check. Because there's an option
Smoke
for
Tuna just for you, my friend. I'm going to take time away from my trading.
Thank you.
Just because we love you, Smoke Tuna. I'll try to bring you back, my friend.
There has to be a way. I'm sorry. Mistakes happen. That's ridiculous. There's no way to do it.
No, if he's banned, I can bring him back. Timeouts, I can't stop the timeout. Now that I know for sure.
That would be, Kevin, honestly, it would be great. We would go out for wine and food and we would discuss things about the market. So if he came to my house, that would be great. I have no illusions about that.
All right. Trying to locate here to get my man back. Let me know about the trading action, guys.
He's back.
Q's just tanking.
Okay, I was going to say
back?
he's back, and that means that confirmed didn't ban him.
Yeah, it was just a timeout.
Man, Smoke Tuna, I'm sorry, man. I owe you one. I definitely owe you one.
I'll tell you one thing. I love the defense. The defense from the chat.
Me too. You know what? That's like live impromptu defense of our community. I absolutely love it. Marty saying I can rest easy now. You're right. For a sec there, my heart rate started to go up. I was like sweating a little bit. I'm like, that was a mistake.
All right, guys. I'm
Freedom,
gonna lower
baby.
Exposure if I can get back into the green here for meta. Big thing is the Qs are coming down. The Qs are back below the VWAP. Does it come back above VWAP is very important for me. But at this point, Meta is trying to get me out, and it's going against the market. I got to be careful with that.
I'm going to bring this up every day, Ryan. Unforgivable. Fair. I earned that. That's fair. that's fair.
That's what she'll be. Don't let him get smoked. All right, guys, I might get stopped out on this meta. This meta is not cooperating, so got to be careful here. That's the only one that I have in the red. And what is the idea here in swing? Cut the losers. See what happens here, guys.
Looking around. Saito 40, that man. Sometimes the penny stocks.
All right, that's now if we can start getting this to crack 332.50s from that point on, 333.50s will be the risk, and we can just look for the Qs to crack. That's what I'm looking for. Apple's already kind of coming down here, so I don't even think I'll get an ad on Apple today because there's no point in me ruining my really nice spike short that I got into there. Should be up here towards 190.30s, but we ain't going to talk about that. We'll just do the VWAP fade type of trade here. The VWAP is right above VWAP I have at 189.91s. So I'm in above VWAP. That's where I'll hang out on. Here's Apple coming down. Can the Qs just break the lows now? 384.50s is what I'm looking for. That will help your SQQQ trade out. That's for sure.
Yes, it will.
You guys see how this is kind of bunching up here? Definitely don't want it back to 385.50s. Anything through that 385.50s, and I'm going to probably just pull all out and then look to get back in later.
Oh, well, AFib really popped here.
Crack. What you got? AFib?
It's just a penny stock that it's in Trade the Pool. It's a penny stock that just popped 7 cents on volume. So it was only 20 cents, 19 cents, but it's a penny stock that's moving here.
Good catch, Born. I appreciate the comment. Like always, when you guys look out for me, I appreciate that. XLC trying to break 70. Something to keep in mind, right? Overall, sectors, I haven't given it today. Energy leading the upside, financials, and consumer cyclical. What's in the red? We got real estate, defensives, utilities, basic materials, health, technology, just slightly green at 0.2. Could go red or could go green here. We'll find out. I'm just keeping a close eye on the VWAP right now on the Qs. They could do one more attempt to go to 385, which would be that third high. But of course, I'm looking for the 384.50 takedown.
52,800 share buy in SSYS at 1048. Jay, whatever ended up happening with your calls that you played for earnings? I just stayed in the stock and it's higher.
One thing that I can see is that we're finally starting to get RSI to come down on the daily. And that's actually something to kind of note. That means that it doesn't mean that 100% this is changing tune right now, but we're starting to get an indicator that's telling us that price action should be coming down, and price action is slightly coming down right now. I wouldn't necessarily say it's broken, but now I'll be looking for that turn, especially if the RSI can continue trickling down.
SGD halted to the downside. This looks like that might be done. That's why we did play that one.
I think you got to be nimble and quick here, especially when you're trying to catch turns.
Yeah, my gut
stop me out.
My gut feeling is that we take another leg down here on the market. I would not be surprised if SPY tested 449 to the downside here intraday, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Qs moved along with it. That chart looks like it wants to go down more.
Yeah. Giving myself some room in Meta today, but that's the one that could stop me out. Maybe give me a $40 loss there. I'd be okay with it. The other trades will cover that as we get into the green. Just going to continue battling. Disney's still looking great.
Johnny, awesome little workaround there, putting it on a different audio device so you can hear them both at the same time. Like I said, we will get that transcription developed for you, but this is an awesome job getting some type of workaround in the interim.
Yep. That's definitely a good way of doing it. And that way you can at least lower it a little bit. And like always, guys, just find ways to work around. Use your tools. Find tools to help you. I can't say this enough. So many traders rely on like one tool versus trying to use multiple tools that can help you. This is why you guys see me using Benzinga Pro, even when I have TC 2000 and even when I have Trade the Pool in front of me, right? There's a reason why. You got to use tools that can help you stay on top.
Half Hitch Brewing, your favorite Affirmed, bounced nicely off the double bottom. So looking at Affirmed here, I love that you affectionately called it our favorite to short, maybe. It is a nice bounce here. Here's one of the things that I would look at. I've got a 15-minute chart up here right now. One of the things that I'd be looking for a potential shorter term trade is if we do not take out this high, and then we retest this low and break, I really do think this thing can really come in, maybe 23 or even lower, maybe even a 22 handle. So I wouldn't, again, if we zoom out here, if we lose this level right here, I wouldn't be shocked if a firm came in towards 22. So this may be a potential short if this can't hold. To your point, Half Hitch, it has held and actually has bounced pretty nicely here today, much to my dismay, as they say.
All right, guys, rule of three starting to play in here for the Qs. So I'm getting ready to set my stop here for Meta, and then going to go and show you guys the rule of three here on the Qs. We shouldn't go higher than that recent trend line on the 1 minute, and I'm keeping it tight to the 1 minute here. Trying to give myself enough room there for Meta, not to just give me a little bit of a spread stop out here. But I need to see the Qs come back down below the VWAP now, break 385s for that rule of three to get rejection, and then break the third support. So here's the Qs on the one. I'm going to go to it so I can show you guys this. I talk about this all the time, guys, the rule of three action, right? So here's the first action to the upside. Let me go ahead and I'll just draw squares on it. Upside action first time, right? Downside action. Then you get this upside action. Then you get the downside action, right? So now we know where we're clearly making support. We get this attempt move to the trend line. Now we can go ahead and call this kind of the third support. Does that hold? A breakdown below this, clear close below, let's say 380, 84.95. That's when I see the breakdown. Why? Because if I drew a trend line here and I just drew this up, right? You can see how that comes into play right now. And that's kind of holding on here. So we'll see what happens on that. That's green light go above that. Below here would be kind of the support that it could break. And from that, we could really see some downside action. So this is the rule of three. And honestly, this is the number one strategy that I almost don't like to give people because I've seen so much edge off of it. Literally, this is the one thing that I'm been like, Mitch, maybe you should just keep this to yourself, right? There's certain times when you'll find things like that in trading. And the reason why is because you're like, man, this kind of works. Like, look at that, guys. Like, this makes me feel confident now, right? And then now I'll be watching to see if we can close down here because that's important too, right? Because if you don't close down there, it really isn't a candle to me. If it's just a wick and the body closes back above 385.10s here, I'd be a little bit careful. So there's the kind of the reversal that I was looking for. Now I want to see Meta really start taking that hit and not back above, let's say 333.75s. Look at Disney now going further into the green there for me, canceling my ad now, and just going to let this work, guys. I'll set a stop at an alert at the break even, but hey, looks like I got myself my Disney trade is on, baby. It's on. It's on. Gotta get some music going here. Gotta get some stream decks going here. Let's go.
It's Friday.
Look at the cues, man. You know what? I'm about to have to go get a beer, man. It might be that type of Friday.
Ooh, okay. Things escalated quickly, as they say.
I mean, when we get the nice little red day, we might as well, especially if I'm short. I'll go get some beer action. All right, guys. And I do want to let you guys know I will be visiting Detroit, the D, guys. I'm going to be visiting between the 5th and the 8th in downtown Detroit. Anybody out there wants to meet up with me, please let me know. More than willing. Of course, it's probably going to have to be after work hours. But if you guys are interested in meeting up with Money Mitch in Detroit, let me know, guys.
Dude, I am for you guys. Did you get confirmed? I'm gonna start working on this right away.
I did. I have confirmed for the 5th through the 8th of December. So there you guys have it. I'm getting after there. Hey, we can do it. I'm sondering up.
Are you really?
That. Yeah, man. The Saunders, man. I actually like that place. As long as you have like a good security at the front. Yeah, I'll like those kind of Airbnb style hotels.
That 7-Eleven that's shares a wall with it is quite popping. Let's just leave it at that.
Chris Steve, what are you talking about? 420 Detroit? It's legal, ain't it?
Yeah. There's dispensaries all over the place.
It's funny that they're not in downtown though, Ryan. I find that amazing because like you go to downtown Denver.
I don't know where I've never been in one. Actually,
yeah, they're outside the city.
I've been in one, and you're right, it wasn't in downtown.
They're outside the city. They're like closer towards like the airport on the metro outside.
They're outside the downtown area.
Yeah, they're not. I think they're not allowed to be in the downtown area. I don't think they can get a license.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the specifics behind it.
No, the big thing for me there is it's interesting that, you know, that doesn't happen because you go to Denver, you can do it on 16th Street. There's 2 or 3 dispensaries on the most popular tourist street, right? That's where I get a little bit confused. I'm like, if Detroit, you know, you want to make your money, where do a lot of people going to stay when they go to Detroit? They're probably staying in near downtown, right? But that's just what I'm saying. Mitch, take a trip to Southwest Florida. Where? Tampa? I'm always willing. 7-Eleven? Oh, actually, I got a 7-Eleven right below me, Kevin. I use 7-Elevens. Believe it or not, I used to run 7-Elevens. I've talked about it.
Oh, I believe that. Are you kidding me? That's easy to believe.
Yeah. There it is, the cues, guys. That's making me feel a lot more confident. Maybe I should have added to the Apple position, but look at that, guys. Look at that. Go, baby. Yesterday was the call, though. I got to say, I should have just stuck to my bones, though, because of the gap up move. And that was probably the best call. So if you got around the 190.30s, I'd give a shout out to you guys. One thing also that you notice, look at all this, guys. And I think this is important to note, right? So many people like want to tell me about what fees, but fees, don't worry about the fees. Well, look at this, guys. I'm paying fees and I'm paying 10 shares per order. Do you guys see me stressing about what the fee is going to be? No. I want to come in it sized in accordingly. And going at it at 10 shares versus 20 shares, believe it or not, look, 30 shares is the same cost as the 10 shares. They want you to go bigger. I don't want to go bigger. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with staying small and sizing into the position. So I wanted to kind of show you guys that because the truth is that I wanted to show you guys how I'm going about it in the swing trade, slowly getting in it, sizing up, and then looking for the big win, right? Look at Disney now move. This looks great for me on Disney. And the cues are right off the weakness spot. So this is the area where we're going to, I think, we're going to know if we're going to get that real move back down towards support or are we going to get a bounce. This is where normally you'll get some kind of wicking action like you got on this 5-minute where it seems like buyers are stepping up here. So that's what we need to kind of take a look at now. If it comes ramping back through like, let's say this green line, yeah, that's where we can be a little bit careful and we start to like kind of get that big move. You see that bottoming action right there? So they're trying to play it. Let's see if they can get it back above that trend line. This is where I'm like, okay, so Meta's just been bouncing around. Now I need to start being tighter on Meta, because if not, I can easily get stopped out on this one, and it's just going to be kind of just the Qs getting above VWAP. So protect myself in the one that I'm in a loss, right? Make sure that I know what the risk is going to be and keep working the winners. That's what I'm trying to do today. Q's coming back fast after that 384.50 break. And I wanted to see a close below 384. Where did it close on the 5? Or maybe let's go to the 5. Yeah, the 5s closed way above that 384.50s. They closed there at 384.75. Next candle opened at 384.75 and only made a low of 384.64. So definitely the battle's on right now. We're getting that up, like that back and forth action. Only outside of Detroit, not in Detroit City, has a ban. Only medicinal. Are there medicinal ones in downtown?
Again, I don't know. I've never been.
It's just an interesting conversation, I think.
Yeah,
especially
I just don't know an answer for it.
I spend like $350 a month on tools plus traders fees. That's what I love to hear. To tell you the truth, Paul, I think I like highlighting this because the truth is that you need to sometimes pay in this game, right? If you want the best tools, let's just be honest, not all the best tools are going to be free, right? And I think that's important. There's a reason why you guys see me paying for TC charts when I have charts all around, right? Find what works for you guys, what you guys are comfortable with, what you guys are like. Every single morning, I'm using not TC 2000 to find the news, right? I'm using Benzinga Pro. And I think this is very important to note, guys. You got to treat it like a business. Know your expenses and know what's coming back, right? Gerard,
I know.
You saw that comment?
There's no way I could clear a 4-foot bong, dude. There's just, I mean, maybe when I was in college, but now, dude, I would literally be dead if I tried to do that. There's just no way.
Yeah, it better not be a beaker bottom. Those are a lot harder to clear. Uprights, man, the classics. Nothing like a 90-degree angle, bro. You got to know your engineering skills.
Yeah, engineering skills. The only engineering skills you need to know is that the volcano greater than all.
You guys are free. That is true. That is a good tool right there, Todd, that you guys could be using. So,
but even in that case, even in that case, we strongly suggest that you supplement this with other tools, that help your trading style, and we're not shy about that.
So out meta, $40 loss there, right? I'm okay with that, right? Like that's what I need to be doing. At this point, I gave myself a shot. Is meta going against the Qs? Yeah, for right now, it's kind of leading in the big boys. And I think that's important. Look how we get a wick above this trend line, but not really a close. I'm looking to see if this closes above it.
Rustical knows.
Yeah, the volcano life.
I'm telling you, it's the only way to go. Now, Caleb, on the other hand, seems to be our bong expert. Bong champ. He's calling himself. Fun on a Friday. Friday fun day. It just works better with Sunday, to be quite honest with you.
All right, guys. All right. So should I let you guys in the know? All right. Might as well. Benzinga does not recommend this. This is straight from Money Mitch here. But this is what I come after, guys. This is what I use. The Rooster apparatus.
I don't even know what that is.
Aha. You guys can check it out if you guys are interested. All right, let's keep going. Kansas Candy. All right, what's going on? Had to take a call. Where are we at, team? Okay, well, Kansas, we are looking at the Qs. The Qs have tried to make a downward turn through the 384.50s and now starting to return back. That's where I feel that you started seeing wicking action. We know how we talk about wicks can be tricks. And usually that's like, bigger orders getting filled on a breakdown, right? Now I needed to look to if we get back through opening price, which is 385.49. I have 385.50 here. Anything above that is really going to start pushing some of these tech trades right back. So that's what I'm keeping a really close eye on. As Disney starts to bounce a little bit, Apple starts to bounce a little bit, we will see if we get continued downside action. But the Qs are trying to get a little bit of a bounce. And the big reason, I talk about this all the time. Joel talked about this morning. I've actually learned a lot of this from Joel. Look for that opening price and see if you can go back through it. That's such an important level. You guys can see we're testing that level right now. Last time we made a wick here towards 385.60s and then turned back around. Let's see what happens this time around. All right, what else you guys got out there?
WLGS halted on a circuit breaker. This is a penny stock halted to the upside here. WLGS.
All right. Rejection there of the 385.50s. Let's see if we start to come down now off of that.
Caleb saying, Ryan, have you seen the Nectar Collector? I don't even know what that is. I suspect that I don't know a lot of what you hip people are talking about. Mitch is probably more plugged into that scene than I am.
Even then, man, I'm old school now. I would consider it like people call. Do you know what I used to? There's so many nicknames. I think it's Zaza. If you're high now, I don't know. The cool kids know that.
See, I have no idea what you're even talking about, dude. Like you like we'll talk about, you can talk about like slang for sports or slang for market or slang for betting, and I'm gonna run with you. But this some of this slang for this smoking stuff that you guys are on, bro, I have no idea what you're even talking about.
Well, you know what's the interesting conversation is, will the DEA reschedule or at least recommend for rescheduling of cannabis? That's the biggest talk right now in the cannabis game. You guys want to keep up with stuff like that? We have Cannabis Insider. We have the guys from the Dales Report team that does the Trade to Black podcast that will actually be on today, 4:10. So if that's your kind of game, talking about maybe potential investments in the cannabis space, check that stream out.
We have Benzinga Pot Profits. We actually have a newsletter type service here that is based solely around the cannabis industry. And what's good about it is that our team that hosts the cannabis events all participate with the content for that product. So if that is, so you're right, Mitch, and we've got something in-house here. Javier is plugged into it, and he's an absolute wizard. So, dude, I'm telling you, if that's something that you're interested in, we got you covered here.
Qs are on the battle, guys. The Bulls are trying to put up the battle here. Can they get it back up, right? Of course, Disney and Apple still working for me. And those are the ones that I'll keep watch, especially if the Qs start ripping through here. If they do, that's when I got to start being careful, guys. And it could be that I go to no positions today. Or maybe just keep like the American Airlines one, right? It's going to be very hard for XLE to stop me out. But like always, I got to keep that in mind. What you got?
Speaking of positions, honestly, I'm comfortable holding the three positions that I'm currently holding that we've been talking about. That's going to be SQQQ, Bristol Myers, and TGTX. I'm comfortable holding all three of those over the weekend. One note, my SQQQ is in my main account, so I actually have they're not in the same account. But in any case.
Real estate, Yazzer, please don't repeat tickers. I'm gonna let this slide just for once, but if we spam tickers, that's an easy way to get a timeout. You can put it up once. Let us know what you're seeing on there.
I'll let I'll let Mitch handle this one so I don't accidentally time the wrong person out. How about that? We'll make sure we learn from our mistakes earlier today.
I'll give him a chance. I'll give him a chance, guys. I know everybody out there is like, hit him hard. But we'll take it easy. We kind of slipped already today. We'll see if we can get this, guys. The battle's on, guys. The battle is on right now. The only question is, what's going to happen here? Is it going to be the Bears winning today or the Bulls just staying in control? Because the Bulls have been in control. The Qs right now, they're just like kind of like those old Saw movies.
And welcome.
That's what the Qs are doing right now to us. They're playing a game, guys. That's without a doubt. Now the only question is who wins the game. Smoked tuna coming back with the Murrah or Murrah. That's what you were calling it earlier. Have you seen that one? Let's see what happens. Man U being announced about maybe getting a potential deal.
Yeah, that's a stake. That was a 25% stake, so it wouldn't be an outright sell.
Oh, okay. That's a good catch. I did not catch that on this morning on Pro. What did I catch here? Ooh, share stake. There you go. You got to get that share stake, right? What kind of steak we talking about? T-bone? What size we talking? We talking
For me, look, I am old school. For me, there's just if we're talking about steak, the conversation start and stops with a fillet.
I'm fillet.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't need a piece of meat that's bigger than the plate. I just need something that's delicious, and the fillet answers the bell.
I mean, you can't go wrong, right? Can't go wrong there. Qs are on the battle team. We'll see what happens. And I feel like that's the one battle that I'm watching. I do see financial services trying to ride higher, industrials trying to ride higher. Let's take a look at what's down today, right? What's down today is basic materials, defensives, and real estate. Essentially, we have what? We got 8 out of the 11 in the green from the open. That's very different than yesterday. We only had technology in the green, yet the market kept going higher. So today, will it be a little bit of an opposite action? That's what I'm looking for. We'll find out if it works out. Energy is bouncing back. We'll see if that can ever even get close towards my entry here. Back to 85s on the XLE. It is trying to get back here. I think where it could run into some resistance is around the 84.50s. So just be careful out there, team. If you are getting short some oil, it is bouncing, but I'm going to look for it to kind of reject this area right here. I'll draw kind of a sideways horizontal line there for you guys.
EXPE,
so
I just noticed this EXPE appearing on my relative volume scanner. Also seeing some call buys come in here. So I wonder if that was a sale. Those were the 120 calls. Yeah, it probably was. OPTX, it really hasn't done anything here. It tried to go above the VWAP, but couldn't. Sorry, looking around there. Sorry for all the dead air there.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. I was dealing with a little Slack message, and you know how those go.
I was searching.
I'm searching. I'm searching to see what happens here, because the Qs are just like, dude, like it's just like, come on, like at some point you think this is going to come down, but the truth is it doesn't have to. And I always like to keep that in mind, right? And I always like to give the positive outlook, and not just the negative. Yeah, I'll tell you guys like what I'm expecting of my trades, but I also give you guys a lot of the times the levels where I could see the opposite traders looking at. This is why it's important to understand both sides. Ribeye, got to have a little bit of fat on that steak. Okay.
I am looking at Murrah here, Tuna. Volume, or it's spread, and the volume kind of seems low, but I see the setup. I would like that on a move back towards the VWAP there.
Dun, dun, dun. Disney, let's go. Let's go, Disney, man. I know someone in the chat said they had also puts on Disney. Shout out to you too. If you're able to nail that one. That's kind of what I wanted to see. Bull trap, come down. There you go. There's Disney coming down at least. That's going against even the market's action, because the market's action is right by around the VWAP, yet Disney is just faded away from that level now. Up a decent amount there in Disney. I never got to 50 shares, but that's okay, right? Can you get upset when you don't get the max share size? No, just let the trade work. That's at least what I'd do. Nvidia looking weak. Now Meta wants to turn around. That thing was strong, though. That thing came all the way back to the top. I think I'm also watching Microsoft, right? Microsoft led the rally back. Will it lead the downside coming in? Look at Microsoft right now. It was pretty weak yesterday. It was weak in the pre-market and continuing weak now. So that's one thing that I would just definitely note and just keep an eye out for. Does it break through this support? Yesterday, Microsoft was kind of coming up. Now look at the action overnight. Came right back down. Will it break this 370.50 area and actually close below that on a 15-minute basis is very important. So let's zoom in here and kind of watch the action in Microsoft. So boom, boom, boom. Definitely in kind of more of a, I would call this would be more of a pennant, right? Because you can see the action here from that bearish action, downward action, pennant stuck in between. You need to see it close below this to see the downside continue.
Murrah breaking down here, unfortunately. BRB wants.
Kansas says, I'm eating on Disney. Kansas, you need to go to, what is it, Oklahoma Joe's in Kansas City? I think that's in Kansas City. I remember going to that place. Is that one of the places out there? That's a good barbecue spots. I always like to know my barbecue spots out there. So if you guys have a legendary barbecue spot, let me know. I'll give you guys one in Orlando to go to, which is Four Rivers Smokehouse. I love Four Rivers. I've been to plenty of barbecue places all around the world, and that's definitely one I put in the top 3. Tuna just timed out, Ryan. There you go. Ryan got the timeout this time. Born says, yup, yummy. You gotta know your barbecue spots. All right, guys. The battle's on out there, team. The battle's continuing in the queues, and no one's won it yet. And I think that this is where we need to be watching all day, that 385.50. It's been working all day. I'll just continue to watch it. Sugar, Fire, Smoke in St. Louis. Now, I got to check that one out, Born. That sounds awesome. Barbecue? I've been wanting to go to St. Louis. I'm naming the legendary barbecue places around the world.
I mean, why are we doing this now, man? You're just going to make me hungry.
I'm already hungry. That's what it is.
No, exactly. This is part of, like, I normally don't eat from like 7 or 8 the night before till 11ish the next day. So yeah. I'm really hungry during this. And now you guys are talking about world's best barbecue places. I mean, I'm in big trouble, dude.
Let's just say I'm ending up at barbecue today. That's for sure. Yeah, it's how it goes, man. Oh, you opened a freeze-dried candy business. That's why your name is Kansas Candy. Well, I won't put it out there. I'm not the biggest candy fan, but I might have to try some of this freeze-dried candy. Is it like fruits and stuff? Let me know, man. And that's a banger, the Oklahoma Joe's. Yeah, I've been there. Tyler Hicks. Okay. Terry Black's. Oh, I actually have Terry Black's stuff from Austin. Yeah, Terry Black's, the best in Austin. I tried multiple when I was there. definitely Terry Black's top. That was some fire stuff, man. I even have some of their spice in the kitchen right now.
Let's
I had
go.
that's what I do. Like when I go to those places, I'll grab their spice, right? Their spice rub. Sometimes I'll take a sauce if it's just that good, but majority of the times I need the spices to try to get close to that action. The Crow's Kitchen, 5-star. I'm coming through, Crow. And Lacey, when's the party? Your backyard? I'm about it. All right, we'll see what happens here on the cues, and Disney just continuing coming down. That just making me feel confident about that one. Kind of nice timing on that. Buy the news, sell the rip event. They came up on earnings. They've gone from the bottom there on 80s all the way up here towards the high. It was a 20% move. So maybe we can even just get it back down. First profit, let's say maybe break Thursday's low, 93.63s. We're still ways away from there, about a point. So if I can get that point, I'll be up like, let's say like 40, 60. I'll take probably like half off there and then just let the remainder just continue to work on Disney. Top profit is going to be looking more towards the 9 EMA and the 200 exponential moving average, which are right near each other, 90.58 and 90.71. So I'll pick the top end there because why? I look to the left and I see a daily level that's important to me, 91.54. So somewhere between, I would say 91 top profits. I usually like to pick right above the levels that I'm looking at because I feel like if I pick that exact level, I'm being greedy. So I'll pick a slight level right above that and be like, if I can get to there, take it, Mitch, and run. We'll see what happens on Disney. I'll show you.
Let's see if Disney breaks down for you. That would really be great.
Yeah, first profits right around this low, and then from there, can we get back into
that gap?
Hell yeah, dude! Right near that gap, I'll just take the profits right before it fills it. I don't wait for it to fill it because the truth is it could bounce off of that fill, right? Why would I wait for when people could come in buying? No, I want to wait until it goes to that level, and as it comes to it, take the profits, and maybe it goes another 20 cents. But is that going to be a difference? Really? Not really. What are we thinking for Monday? Holding positions over the weekend and short positions? Yes, that's what I'm going to be doing, Jonathan. Like always, make your own calls. This is for informational purposes only, not to be used as investment advice. But if you're asking what I'll be doing that, Jonathan, for sure.
And I too, like I said, I investment positions are not affected by day to day, but some of these newer swing positions, one of them being the SQQQ. Yes, I'm looking for more downside over the weekend, hopefully into the beginning of next week. But I'm also holding Bristol Myers and TJTX, and I feel good holding those over the weekend.
All right, that green line that I have here now starts getting negated. Why? Because you got an above and held it there. So that line, delete it. Now I'm looking at this, right? Essentially, we've gone down here, down 1, up 1, down 2, up 2. We need to make that down 3, and then we can still make an attempt to come back here, but I really wouldn't want to see it break the 385.50s. So we could be sideways until like, let's say 12 o'clock, guys. So this is why I've been talking about, and I think this is important to talk about, that I've been seeing more of these trend moves break, but after the lunchtime, after I talk about it all the time, that you need to know the good lunch spots on Wall Street to catch these guys talking, because it seems like it's one of those days where we're getting sideways action, and it could continue. To me, this is more chop because you're not bringing a breakdown level, and you're not also breaking to the upside. And the daily levels look like sideways action. So this is not necessarily that the bears are winning, not that the bulls are winning on the intraday. I think no one's winning right now. It's just a lot of chop. So just be careful out there, team. I feel like the bears are like me, probably in certain positions that are slightly green and looking to see if they're going to get big green. So what does that mean? That they're slightly winning, but they're probably not, a big here. Kansas Candy, make a request. Let me know. Freeze dry everything, even pickles. I don't know about the pickles part. That face.
Dude.
I'm with you on that one, Ryan. I don't know about
Man,
the
that
pickles,
is, yeah,
but I will
dude,
take like
no.
some peaches, some strawberries, some blueberries. But interesting though, because there's some pickle lovers out there, man. Like it's like when you see that kid at Chick-fil-A and he's like, "Can I get double pickles?" I'm like, did he really just say that? Let's have a good time,
I
guys.
mean, oh my God. I'm not a
That's how
pickle
it goes
fan. What can
sometimes,
I say?
guys.
By the way, I'm not a South Carolina barbecue fan either. I don't like that vinegary stuff.
What?
Give me the Texas stuff. Give me the
Oh, come
smoke.
on, man.
Nah, dude.
But I've actually been disappointed here. I will say that. I think Max is pretty decent. The sauce itself is decent. But being a Carolina barbecue fan, I thought they could do better. So I need to go visiting somewhere else here in the Carolinas. I know there's someone out there that knows the better spots, not the Charlotte spots. I need to get away from those. I need to go looking elsewhere because I feel like they do good, but maybe not legendary, right? I like those legendary spots, and I'll compare, all around the world.
And GPS 18, this GPS move is insane.
I love the chat. We always have an opinionated chat. That they don't slack on that.
That is disrespectful to excellence. I'm sorry. The vinegary Carolina barbecue is beneath Kansas City, beneath Texas. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, hey. All right, guys. The Qs are just putting up this fight. Now they're putting the fight in the 385s. I think it's very important to watch to see if we close below 385 on a 5-minute basis here. Because if it's just wicks as a downside, you know how I talk about wicks. They can be easily tricks. So let's see what happens here. 3 wicks to the same area. Do we close below this low? 384.94, 384.93. And now the theme again, 384.92s. So I'm looking to see if we close below that. That's going to be vital to see if we get an attempt back towards that 384.40s or 384.50 area. If you see a ramp back to 385.50s, that's good for the bulls. Because now I see kind of that turn there and a couple of wicks, and that could be buying pressure on that downside break of 385. Try RO and Gastonia. I can go over there. That doesn't sound too bad. And then I also saw the Pit recommendation by Lynn. I like it. I'm gonna go be checking out these spots. I gotta go out there, man. Crow said it could be worse. You could be in Canada. Do they not got good barbecue in Canada, man? It might just be too cold outside like half the year, but I don't know, man.
That's what you think the problem with Canada is?
I don't know. I haven't been to Canada. I'll be honest. I haven't been to Canada. You know what?
Let me tell you something.
I might have to check it out, guys.
I went snowboarding in Whistler when I was like 19 or 20 years old, and it was one of the best times I have ever had. It was so awesome up there. Oh my God. If you like skiing or snowboarding, Whistler, man, that is where it is at.
All right, guys, let's give you guys some leading stocks. I see someone mentioning Roku there. Let's talk about some of the leading stocks here, right? We're always talking a little bit of mix. You guys see us have a good time, bring up some other conversation, because the truth is, it's not just all about trading here. We have a good time. So let's take a look at what's doing well in the market today. So PanW is one of the leading stocks in the Qs today. You also got AMAT bouncing back, right? I talked about the idiot drop. Well, it looks like it is coming back up. Maybe it was the idiot drop. I don't know.
Actually, that's a good one.
Look at the bounce back, right? That's pretty good bounce back, 3.4% up from the open. Ross Stores had earnings that brought it down, and it's bouncing back right out the gates there. Then you got KLAC, of course, another semiconductor equipment stock that plays very close to AMAT. So when AMAT does something like this, KLAC can do it like this. And I think that it's important to know this, because if you know the relationships, you can look for leaders, laggards. They're very similar right now, but I want you guys to always understand the relationship game. And then continuing from there, I see Dollar Tree starting to show up, DLTR. right? This is something to definitely note. You guys look at the lift on this, guys. This has just been lifting out the gates and hasn't turned around. So this is interesting to definitely catch. Let's take a look at the daily chart as this is trying to come back here. Will it maybe fill this gap? Who knows? Dollar Tree's definitely gotten hit with that Walmart move, but coming back now. And then CrowdStrike, of course, moving with Pan W. So if you guys are looking at CrowdStrike, the cybersecurity space today, that's actually playing well here as CrowdStrike continues to push. And then I look at other names. I see, of course, Zscaler right behind that, another cybersecurity name. And then Meta, that is topping around 334s, but has been going against the market all day. That's interesting to catch. And Micron doing pretty decent there. AVGO in the green, PDD, Walgreens, Boots Alliance, Amazon still staying green right now as one of the larger names. That's something that I'd keep an eye out for. And even AMD just slightly green. But AMD looks a little bit toppy to me, but that's just because maybe the Qs are hanging tight right now. Let's go to also what's on the major downside in the Qs. And I also like to look at this, like what's getting hit hard today. Well, Siri is down about 2%, but I'm not touching that. That's that whole Warren Buffett kind of buy of Sirius XM Holdings. I'll never trade that stock. That stock is boring as hell to me, but that's up to you guys if you guys like it. Lucid pulling back. ENPH, of course, the solar names, guys. Be careful with those solar names. As they come up, they easily can come down. And today, of course, JPM coming in here and trying to save themselves because they didn't have a good rating on Canadian solar. So they came in and downgraded it today to underweight and lowering price target to 22. And that's CSIQ. That's Canadian solar. They're just trying to play a little bit of catch up there. This is how the analysts will do it sometimes when they get caught on the wrong end. They just go in and they just downgrade it, lower the price action. And it's usually after the fact that the price action already did, right? So definitely catch it. I'm having problems with that CSIQ today. Even I'm having problems with a little bit of putting in these tickers today. So I can pull it up right here. There's no reason to struggle anymore. You guys can see it. It's down big there today. We'll see what happens on this action, but not being able to hold in too much right now. And JP Morgan just coming in and just, we'll do 22. And they're still off, right? If anything, I would have put like a 15, but they'll just keep following it. Sometimes the analysts can be lemons, and they just kind of follow each other. This is what happens, man. I call it how I see it, dude. And if any of those analysts want to talk to me, they know where to reach me.
You ever wonder why the analysts always view that they are right? Like even when we talk about earnings, we say the company missed analyst expectations or they beat analyst expectations. Yeah. Like the analyst is the be all end all. It's like, come on.
You know what it is, Ryan? At the end of the day, they got the money, right? Where did the money go? It comes out of these banks, right? Where do you go and you try to get investment advice? You calling up JP Morgan, right? And you're like, hey, where do I put my money, right? I mean, that's just what it is, guys. So the truth is these guys get paid to give an opinion and very few are right. That's why there's actually services like, and I'll give them a shout out, like Tip Ranks and stuff like that like kind of ranks these guys. And we have a ranking system right there on Pro, right? That tells you guys like success rate. If you guys don't know this, then maybe we can show this a little bit off, Ryan.
I'll just when I need help, I go to Born and Smoke Tuna.
And those are going to be better analysts. They just don't got the bank behind them.
Yep.
They just don't got the bank behind them. That's it. But who knows, man? If they had the bank behind them, who knows where they could be?
They'd be at the top. They'd only be halfway up. Man. Think about that.
All right, guys, the struggle's on out there with the Qs, but man, this is one of those things where, you know what it does? It lulls you to sleep. Just literally just puts you to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to call it a day. And then when you usually call it a day, what happens? It finally picks a trend. So this is why I'll be watching afternoon trading today, because it just seems like we're just chopping around right here, not really choosing a direction. We'll find out what happens. All right, guys, it's about 10:50. I think we'll wrap it up here, guys. We don't have all access after this. We'll probably get it wrapped up. Like always, guys, be careful out there. Today, I'm coming after Apple, Disney, XLE, still staying short. Remember, these were earlier in the week. There were 6 longs. Now I have 3 shorts and 1 long, trying to adapt, right, to maybe potential rotation. Could I be right or wrong? Honestly, we don't know yet. The market will tell us, right? But the only thing I can do is try to position in the way that I see it going, trying to catch the turn and doing what? Trying to keep the risk minimal. We'll find out what happens today. Any last comments on the market, Ryan?
No, I mean, I'm kind of a non-factor day here. I didn't really do anything to alter some of the positions. I too am going to carry what I was holding into next week here. I also am going to watch the afternoon trading. I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe took another leg down. Maybe that's wishful thinking because I'm still currently holding SQQQ. I don't know. But I want to see how we close. And remember, folks, next week likely to be a low volume week. So we could see the market get pushed around with the illiquidity out there because of the truncated week for Thanksgiving. We'll see. Enjoy the football this weekend.
All right, Ryan's getting out of here. We'll wrap it up, team. Like always, guys, stick around. We always got a lot more for you guys right here on Benzinga. I do want to give you guys my email to reach out to me if you guys want to meet up in Detroit, in downtown. Send me an email. Of course, if you can include some contact information in that email, that will help me contact you and kind of line something up so that we can meet up. Even thinking about maybe, I don't know, maybe catching maybe a Detroit hockey game there or something. Hey, you guys let me know what you guys are interested in. Hit me up. We can definitely just do a meetup, kind of talk about some trading action. I'm always here for you guys, just like you guys are here for me every single day. I appreciate you guys. I know Ryan does too, and Benzinga overall definitely does. So thank you guys for being with us today. We'll get you guys over to some more action coming up after this. I'll be getting a course start swing trade up at the end of the day, and I'm going to continue doing more and more. If you guys like live trading and want to see something different, or just want to give us some feedback, you guys can always reach out to me, Mitch@benzinga.com, or hit the comments, hit that like. We had a great day today, talked about barbecue, talked about so many things. That's what we're all here. We're in a truly supporting community. I love to see you guys out there. Definitely smash the like, because the truth is there's not many places out here that you can truly enjoy yourself in the trading communities. So I'll tell you right now, I've been in plenty of them, from Warrior Trading to Timothy Sykes to a whole mess of names out there. And this is my favorite community. I'll see you guys back like always later today, 3:30. Mitch's email, Mitch@benzinga.com. As simple as that, right? I threw it up here. Let me go ahead and just put it on the screen. Mitch@benzinga.com. Hit me up, guys. I'll see you guys like always a little bit later today on Start Swing Trade. And I always love the Christmas season. It's always fun. Let's have a great time.
Ma'am, I'm 8 years old. You think I would be here alone? I don't think so.